New on Curiosity Stream.
With my infrared drone, I can see what others can't.
Drone pilot Doug Thron uses his bird's eye view for the ultimate good, saving animals from desperate situations around the globe. Join the rescue effort on a new season of Doug to the Rescue. And
You captured a Confederate steamboat?
We're taking the ship to freedom.
an enslaved crew, a stolen vessel, and a Civil War dash to salvation on impossible escapes. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
0.9 KISW. We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
A man who found himself stranded in the ocean in the dark of the night has credited a SEAL with helping him swim to safety. Sea urchin diver Scott Thompson fell from his boat in the Santa Barbara Channel between Santa Cruz Island and the California coast. This happened back in January. The waters of the Santa Barbara Channel are home to predators including great white sharks, bull sharks, tiger sharks, you name it. So he had to swim for several hours to save himself, and he said that a SEAL helped to nudge him along when his strength started failing him. Thompson had failed to take safety precautions as he relieved himself off the side of the boat and fell overboard after a powerful wave rocked the vessel and knocked him off balance. Again, he's peeing off the side of the boat, a wave comes and knocks him off. He's only wearing shorts and a t-shirt in cold waters and could only watch as his boat, which he had left in gear, sail into the distance without him. I just started swimming as hard as I could toward the boat, and it really didn't take too long to realize that it's getting farther, and I'm not getting closer. So he decided to swim toward Platform Gale, which is an offshore oil rig that was closer to him and that any landmass, closer than any landmass. But little did he know that the exhausting journey would take him around 5 hours. He said that he was driven by thoughts of his wife, daughters, and son having to support themselves without him. I wasn't thinking about sharks or anything like that until I hear this splash. It's this little medium-sized harbor seal, he said. The seal would go underwater, and he came up and nudged me like a dog comes up and nudges your leg. Did it know? Hey, this human's in trouble? Keep going, dude. Harbor seals, by the way, can grow to 6 feet in length and about 235 pounds. Thompson has also written a blog post about his experience in which he said that the seal twice bumped him in the back of his legs with its nose when he stopped swimming and started treading water. He wrote that he started speaking to the seal, singing Grateful Dead songs to it, and telling it jokes, which really helped me because it took my mind off the situation.
Big Grateful Dead, really.
What would you do?
I mean, I don't know. You know what? I would sing Seal.
That's a good call.
Baby.
Gray Seal from Elton John.
Kiss from the rose. Just saying.
Dude, what happened to your face? He was then taken to the hospital where he was treated for hypothermia.
And Miles drowned that day.
Yeah, no kidding. His boat was found on an island 5 miles east of Santa Cruz Island. Our question, what is your most unbelievable factoid or life experience? 206-421-ROCK. I apologize.
Hello, Anthony. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
Well, quick and easy. I was 16. I was diagnosed with cancer. I went through 7 years of treatment. In that 7 years, I had a relapse. I did a bone marrow transplant. I relapsed again, and they said I had 6 months to live. So I basically said, nah, I'm done with all the meds and everything like that. Decided to go the holistic route and used what's called Rick Simpson oil to actually, in turn, cure my cancer. I went to the doctor about a year later, and they were like, dude, we don't know how, but you're cancer-free.
What is it like, man, when you get 6 months? Did you do a bunch of things that you always wanted to do? Were you able to
start sending D-pics to everyone?
Were you able to afford that luxury as far as... Or do you just, what was me?
I actually did have a bucket list. Yeah, I had a bucket list, and all of it was basically fulfilled. It was really cool.
What are some of the things you did?
I went skydiving. I went skydiving at Kapowsin, which was a lot of fun. I got to eat. I always was wondering what's up with those fancy dinners. Those tiny little portions. Why did they pay so much? So I wanted to go try it, and it was worth it. I'm not gonna lie, it was really good food.
Let me ask you a question that's going to sound stupid. It might even sound insensitive, but I really don't know. So if I think legitimately, I have 6 months to live. When you go skydiving, are you as nervous as you would have been if you thought you're just going to have a nice, fulfilling life? Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, God, no. It's so much easier to get out of that plane.
All right.
Did you have a threesome?
No, I have not. I've never had a threesome.
Was that on the bucket list?
Like, if you had a really good friend and she knew that you were dying.
Yeah, I'd be like, dude, come on, man. Hook it up.
You have a friend, somebody. You got to know somebody.
No, but the problem is, and look, I'm glad you're alive, but if you get the threesome thing out of your friend who finally hooks you up, and then you're like, yeah, I'm cancer free.
I throw that on
She's
everybody.
going to think that you were lying your ass off.
If you've
never had cancer, Anthony.
If you're single, I'd throw that on everybody. I've always wanted to have sex with you, and I'm dying. I got 5 months left.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Hook a brother up. You never have to see me again. I'll be dead.
It's kind of genius if you think about it.
No, because you literally have to believe you're going to be
I'm
dead in
die.
6 months.
This is not a joke.
Right.
I'm dead serious.
The problem is you got to think about it the opposite way.
What do you mean?
Like, think about some of the females you know, and they're like, I'm dying. You got to have sex with me. You're like, let's go get that fancy dinner.
It depends who asks.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Right.
Yeah.
So it's not as easy as just being like, I'm dying. Let's have a threesome.
It's not that it's easy, but look, if it were easy, you would have already slept with her. Mm-hmm. You're like, this is my last best gasp.
Sure.
Right? Like, if she ain't going to throw it to me now, that ain't going to happen.
A female friend, she has, she's only got 5 months to live. She goes, Ted, you know what? I've always wanted to have sex with you. Just one time, will you hook me up?
Right. Depends on who it is.
Sorry, Sheila.
What do you think about it, though?
That's what I'm saying. Like, in theory, I give you your cover, Miles, but also I'm just thinking about it from the other person's point of view. It's like, all what's the dinner? 500?
Damn. I was picturing Ted in that situation. She's being all sincerely, I'll buy you dinner, but that's...
When you go to the bunny ranch, if you only had 5... If you've always... That was something you've always wanted to do.
Well, yeah, I agree 100%.
Sure, yeah.
Well, so now, how long ago were you diagnosed as cancer-free?
So I was diagnosed with cancer-free about 22, late 22, almost 23. I just actually recently passed my 5-year mark.
All right, so
basically within 5 years.
Do you still take this oil or whatever it is?
No, actually, after, I'm going to say 2 years, I stopped taking it. I weaned myself off because it was just, I didn't have the money for it at the time, and I figured, hell, it's better to wean it off.
Say the name of it again. A couple of people are asking what it is.
Yeah, it's RSO, Rick Simpson Oil. You could actually find it in any dispensary now, I believe.
Wait a minute. That's like the super strong stuff.
That's why he weaned himself off. Like, that's like, hey, the cancer's left. Yeah. Like, I don't need this anymore.
That's what I say. I think that's exclusively...
Is that a cannabis oil?
It is, but like...
Yes.
I don't know that you can buy that in a rec store. I mean, that's for people that have cancer.
Right.
I think I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it in, I think it was Buddy's in Redton. I believe I've seen it
Is there a discussion group of people who have also taken this and that have somehow come out of this thing doing pretty well?
Oh, yeah. There's a large group, and it's kind of crazy to see this large of a group, but it's not approved by any doctors because they can't make money off of it.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know why it's not approved. I'm sure doctors are fine with it.
Looks like it's a Canadian thing.
And here's a question. This is a good question. It says, all right, again, you believe you got 6 months left to live. You're going to do the multi-course meal. You go skydiving. They want to know, did you open a bunch of credit cards and just F your credit, like buying stuff?
Mm-hmm. Okay, I did make some really terrible decisions. Like
what are some of the things you bought that you're like, knowing that you really are going to have to pay it? Now all of a sudden you find out you're cancer free and you're in debt for
How long can I drive this car before they repo it?
Right.
Honestly, I stopped paying my car and rent, to be honest with you. And it was really hard when you have to deal with an eviction later on in life when you're actually still living.
Yeah. Did you find that anyone didn't believe you? Like, if you talk to a landlord or whoever you're making car payments,
and then you take this magical oil, and now you don't have cancer. Okay, buddy.
Right.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I played the move-out game, and then my brother took over my place, and then I stopped paying it after a while. It was all bad.
So how hard is it to, I mean, look, obviously, again, you're happy to still be alive, but based on the fact that, you ran up some debt, you did all this stuff, how hard is it to kind of get things back on track when you realize, oh boy, I'm back on the hook for everything, and I'm going to live?
Well, honestly, I mean, I was terrible with money for that while. I mean, I was young and dumb. I'm still making it up in ways in terms of credit and everything like that. And I'm 30, 31 this year. So.
And did you say anything to anyone where now you're like, man, if I'd known I was going to live, I never would have said that?
No, thank God.
Okay, that's.
I mean, I don't know if you could say you were terrible with money. You thought you were dying.
Right, and you were young anyway.
Now, this oil is really heavy in THC. So how messed up did you get when you took this stuff?
So they like to say just take like a grain of rice. Take that in the morning. So what I used to do, I first started putting it on my tongue. Then the taste was freaking terrible. You have to ingest it. You don't smoke it or anything like that. And so then I started putting it into like eggs, and it started tasting a little bit better, but it still tastes terrible. But the benefits, I mean, I'm alive, so.
Okay. People are saying you can find it. Say it's thick and black. You eat it. It's at most rec dispensary shops.
Well, you should call your penis RSO.
Yeah, I know. Well, hell, man. Glad you're alive. Sorry about the debt.
That's
but I like the idea that, skydiving, not nervous at all. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I'll jump out of the plane. Whatever.
Right.
Man, that's got to be weird, though.
Or do any deal where, like, you got 6 months to start the payments.
Right. Well, start paying in 6 months. Like, cool.
You buy this new TV, you don't start paying for 6 months. I get like a 62-incher. Stick that thing in my living room.
And then you find, hey, you're cancer-free. Like,
oh no.
Yeah, big-ass TV. Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like I wouldn't have any money. Like, you got 6 months. Like, all right, I'm out.
Yeah, well, I'm
going to start traveling and doing
stuff. You want to burn the house down, basically.
But that's the difference between being single and then having a family, right? Like, I'd love to blow all the cash and go nuts. You got 6 months, but, like, you can't.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But when you find, hey, man, you're going to keep living, you go, okay, I haven't put anyone in debt, so I might have to apologize to a few people for some words I said, but I'm probably not in debt. Single, I got 6 months. Yeah, hell, man, I haven't been in my place. I'm somewhere on the other side of the world. Yeah. I'm having sex with like a Tahitian prostitute. You know, I mean, all that stuff.
What is your
and I'd be hooked on heroin. Look, I'll tell you right now, one of the things, man,
I start smoking.
I'm trying every drug out there. Right?
I start smoking again.
Just see what the high is. Because
it doesn't matter. I would be the only guy who'd be that sick and gain weight.
Would you try cocaine?
Sure, after I'm done my dozen donuts for breakfast.
But here's the thing. Now you're cancer-free, and it's like, Ted, you're hooked on cocaine.
And donuts.
Right, you weigh 350 again.
Smoking meth. Your cholesterol's through the roof.
You die of something else.
You're going to live, but you're real unhealthy.
Then you OD. What is your most unbelievable factoid or life experience? 206-421-ROCK.
You guys ever eaten pizza in between two donuts? I call it the donut pizza.
It's not even good, but I don't care.
Right?
Hello, Ryan. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, guys.
Hola.
So, back in 07 and 08, we won the 2A high school state baseball championship. And I don't know if this is something that the Mariners do every year, but we got to go out for a ceremonial first pitch. And that of itself was really cool. Emotions were running high until I saw that my pitcher was actually throwing a knuckleball at me, and I dropped it on the jumbotron.
Oh, that's all right. At least he was trying to show off a little bit.
Yep. So it was a long running joke for a while, and I was pretty pissed off about it right after it happened. But as time went on, I found the hilarity in it.
Well, it's like anything, it sucks at the time, but then it's a great memory. Right?
Why did he throw a knuckleball?
Because he was clowning.
So he set you up.
Yeah. So.
It's all the dimensions of a baseball field. Typically, I played on major league dimension baseball fields, but when you actually step on the field in a major league ballpark,
and there's people there,
and you step on the mound and you look around, you're like, "There's no way anybody can jack one out of here."
Right?
It's too far. It just looks too far. I mean,
it does.
It doesn't look like it's possible. When you just watch these guys send them out, you're like, "Man, that's a shot," especially center field. Yeah. You turn around and you're like, "Man, there's no way you can hit a ball out of here."
And then they do.
And then they just absolutely rocket ship it out of there. It's amazing. What is your most unbelievable factoid or life experience? 206-421-ROCK.
Just real quick. Says, will you please tell me one more time what the name of the oil is.
RSO.
Rick Simpson Oil. RSO. It's at most, apparently it's at most rec shops. Someone said look for the blue square. I guess maybe that's part of their logo or something. Now you know. Just go to a rec shop.
And Rick Simpson himself was like a pioneer of using THC and cannabis to help sick people.
It should also point out RSO comes in tons of different ratios too, so you can get almost 100% or dial it down. And someone else says that, oh man,
Is that like
a woman had colon cancer. Her son started making the oil, and she was completely cured of stage 4 colon cancer.
Huh. I wonder, because like an edible's 10 milligrams. This stuff is really...
I'm shocked they even sell it at a rec shop.
Me too. Just based on how many milligrams it probably is compared to THC that you would need from a medical standpoint.
Yeah, I don't know.
What is your most unbelievable factoid or life experience? 206-421-ROCK.
I had a buddy that got some once from a old school medical store, and he was just out the whole day.
Really?
Just not like asleep, but and he wasn't sick or anything. He was just doing it to get messed up.
And it worked.
Oh, it worked. But he was like a zombie on the couch.
Someone else said RSO cured my shingles.
Oh, all right.
Because if the chickenpox virus has been in you, you could still get shingles. Hello, Nick. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bitch, hola.
Hola.
Okay, so when I was a kid, I lived overseas for 2.5 years in Yugoslavia, or it was Yugoslavia at the time. And then my dad's parents are originally from Ukraine. And so when I was about 12 years old, we did a family road trip all the way to Ukraine, but still the USSR. And my dad successfully bribed a traffic cop with 2 large bags of peanut M&Ms.
Oh, wow. So he was going to get a ticket?
Yeah, I think it was a legal lane change, and he just arrived in the country, so they motioned for him to pull over, and we didn't have any rubles on us, we just arrived in the country. And so for our relatives, we were bringing a lot of, like, food items that we had bought in Germany and Austria, stuff that they couldn't get there. And so my dad's like, well, what can I get you? And the guy's like, well, 2 bags of M&Ms look good. So, yes.
I wish it was that easy in the States.
The power of M&Ms.
Yeah, man.
Peanut M&Ms are legitimately good, though.
They are. I feel like if I'm M&Ms, like, I know that technically this is
currency,
illegal, but I would use that in a TV commercial. How good are M&Ms? Bribed a cop in Yugoslavia for 2 bags of them.
I'm trying to think of another country's, like, chocolate that I'd be like, all right.
We don't have M&Ms in Odessa. So give me those. What is your most unbelievable factoid or life experience? 206-421-ROCK.
New on Curiosity Stream.
From time to time, we have collisions between asteroids and the Earth.
We track them. We study them. We hope the big one never comes. Don't look up. It's Asteroid Rush. And alligators. They rarely get sick. They even outlasted the dinosaurs. Could they hold the secret to human longevity?
Their blood could have antibacterial applications.
Wade into the investigation on immortal alligators. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
Oh, fiddlesticks! What, Wilbur? We just got hit and I think my back has all been out of shape.
You gotta talk with those whippersnappers at the Advocates Law Firm. They're the best injury lawyers around.
What? Pipe down, Clarence! Abner's telling me about the lawyers and the advocates. So what happened to you, Abner?
I was walking across the street with the light when some young punk came screeching around the corner. I lost a toe.
What? Shut it, Clarence! If you get injured, the advocates get results.
AdvocatesLaw.com.
99.9 KISW. The men's room returns with Miles and Thrill.
Turn to Who Sucks Less on the way right after emails and our question. What is your most unbelievable factoid or life experience? 206-421-ROCK.
Guess who it is, Ted?
James!
James, welcome to the men's room.
Hello.
Hola.
Hola.
Yeah.
Hey, my life experience, most interesting thing, you guys were talking about guys throwing a baseball out or trying to hit one out. I got to hit golf balls in the Kingdom when Griffey and Buhner were playing.
That's cool.
Why did you get to hit golf balls in the Kingdom?
I signed up at a deal. There used to be a driving range down in Kent. You know, it was a random draw, and they drew my name. So they gave me and my wife and a couple other people tickets, and got to go down there, and we got to play against a pro, and got to go down the clubhouse. And
who was the pro? Do you remember?
No, I don't remember what pro it was, but when we went down the clubhouse, Griffey was sitting in there in a big easy chair playing Return of the Mac on a ghetto blaster, and Jay Buhner was apping with him. It was so cool.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
They had displays of Copenhagen, big like racks of Copenhagen beech nut, whatever chew you wanted, you know, for the players.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, if you've ever been down to that Diamond Club level,
Oh, man.
oh my God, you can't. The people who sit down there get treated better than the players.
Yes.
Yeah. You cannot believe there are bins of M&Ms and pretzels and cotton candy and ice cream and
I did it once
you want.
because you said, dude, just do it. And you're right. It's an entirely different
You want a piece of
experience.
prime rib here. You want a crab leg here.
Yeah, I did it once too. A buddy hooked me up, and same thing. I was like, "What'd you eat last night at the ball game?" I was like, "Well, I had prime rib and shrimp," but then I found out all the food while I was sitting there was free too. So I had a hot dog and a pretzel.
You can't believe it because I was like, "Look, I'm just going to stop real quick before I went down there, grab something to eat."
Right?
They're like, no. Like, don't push that button. You don't know what it'll do. And I was like, "What do you mean?" They're like, "Just come down here. Just come down here."
Yeah,
Like,
I remember you having it. And no offense, but you have a bit of a habit of being like, I got to stop somewhere and get a beer and a shot.
Yeah, something,
And
right?
I was like, dude, you're
Just-
literally, it's
I remember you
everything
telling
is
me
free.
that.
They have real food. Like, just get there.
Yeah, exactly. As
I
fast
think-
as you can.
I think the only thing you got to pay for is hard liquor.
Maybe. I
don't remember.
I just remember everything just being like, take it here.
I never watched
You
the
want
game
this
from
small
down there?
child? Here, adopt it. Here, have the kid.
Never watched a game from down there. I still do want to, but I actually did an auction on back when it was Safeco Field on the field, and they took us through the Diamond Club to get us out to the field. And I felt like I was a player walking through those halls, man.
It's
It was
incredible. You need
freaking
to do it,
awesome.
man.
I want to.
I mean, you're one of the biggest Mariners fans in the city. You need to do that at
I
least.
know.
And if you do it once, you're going to want to do it at every game you go to.
I still want to throw out a first pitch.
I also still, you get on a minor league.
Yeah, I know.
You know, I've done it twice, whatever. I also save lives. I'm a hero. I'm like, yeah, those beers are free. And then I'm like, well, I went with a guy that worked at a beer company. Maybe they worked.
Yeah, it's hard to know, right?
Well, speaking of sports, Sam Howell is not like athletes in the National Football League. He is the former North Carolina Tar Heels quarterback. And as they say, he's thrown for thousands of yards. But that's not what we're really talking about today. Per the Major League Baseball Network's Grant Paulson, I just found out Sam Howell has never eaten steak or tried a burger. This could be all we talk about for the rest of the day, adding he's not vegetarian. He loves chicken. He refuses to try steak or a burger. Fans were not feeling him too much after he admitted this. Cut him, said one guy on Twitter. Between the different voices, depending on who he's speaking to, and now this, if I can trust Sam Howell, a user replied, I want to hop on the Howell train, but I'm a natural hater at heart. I can't get past this stuff. He's considered to be one of the top quarterback prospects in the country. Apparently, this guy will bring in chicken strips into meetings and everything else and take chicken with him wherever he goes if they don't have any available. Because he will not.
Because he loves chicken that much.
He just doesn't want to have anything to do with steak or burger.
He just wants chicken.
But if you told that's why people's mind is blown. Most people.
I assumed he was a vegetarian. And then you read, no, he eats meat. And he's never tried it.
That's it. Like you say, I don't like the texture of hamburger. Fine. I've had 2 or 3 of them. They just don't sit with me. I'd rather have a chicken sandwich. Okay. All right. You get a pass. I think you're nuts. You get a pass. This is, I've never tried it.
Don't want to.
Don't want to. And there's nothing more frustrating. There's nothing more frustrating than the person who does not want to try something. It's fine if you don't like it, but like anything else, family members come out here. Let's just stop and get a little bit of sushi. Oh, I don't eat raw fish. What fish don't you like when it's raw? I just don't want to eat raw fish. What fish have you tried raw? I've never tried raw fish.
Right.
So let me get this straight. You've never tried it. But you know you don't like it, is what you told me. But you've never tried any of it. I don't like raw fish. Have you tried raw fish? no. Then how do you know you don't like it?
Right.
It's a circle conversation over, and still nothing registers. How do you know you don't like something unless you haven't tasted it?
I can look at something and know that I'm not going to like it, but I still give it that bite.
Sure.
Prove
Tofu
But
does
the
not look
difference
good
is
to me.
We're not.
But I'll try it.
No one's trying to get him to try balut.
Right.
This is a fertilized goose. Dude, it's a hamburger. Like, there's not a balut chain. You don't go to McDonald's and get the McBalut. You know what I mean? Like, dude, it's like pizza. It's kind of
Or one of those fruits that smell
thing.
real bad. If you don't like the smell of it,
Right.
I understand.
Durian?
Yeah.
Durian, yeah.
I'll cut the red meat guy a little slack because he's 21. Like, I never tried sushi till I was 23.
No, but the
24.
difference to me is just living in the States, right? And it doesn't, if you don't like a hamburger, you don't like it. It's just crazy to me that he's never tried one. You know, because, I mean, with sushi, where we grew up until sushi really kind of exploded in popularity, I could think of a place in Baltimore, it used to be in Fells Point, you could get it. Now there's a bunch of places you can get it. But at the time, there was like a place, and you specifically went there to try it. With hamburgers, it's like, man, you can look at the menu of almost anywhere, even if they have a kid's menu, right? There's burgers, there's McDonald's, there's Burger King. I mean, you name it, there's burgers everywhere, man. There's nothing exotic. Try it.
I'm with you, but it's also the States. I feel like anytime there's burgers, there's chicken.
That's true. Give me the crispy chicken. F the burger, right?
Right, or like, I don't know, you always host people at your house. If you're having burgers and hot dogs, I'm willing to bet there's also a couple pieces of chicken involved.
There are. But those people have tried it.
That's all. I'm only cutting him slack because he's 21, and I'm sure his mom took care of him.
You might say,
obviously.
You might say, I don't like pineapple on pizza and ham. You've tried it.
Right.
It might not be for you, but you've given it a shot and said, okay, what's the big deal? Why is everybody like
it? Well, he never said he doesn't like it, right?
Right, he just said he hasn't tried it.
He never had tried it. That's what I mean.
But I like that he's taking chicken strips with him everywhere he goes.
That's next level.
Like Raising Cane sponsoring this guy? What's going on?
I mean, look.
He's in the right city to get a sponsorship.
I get it with younger people. I still laugh when I meet people that are like late 20s, 30s. Like, we got to go here. They're the best chicken strips. What, are you 12?
You're here for the chicken strips.
Do you think you would try lake trout? Now, it's deep fried. It's fish instead of chicken.
Right.
So it's kind of like a chicken strip, but it's fish.
He might like, he's in a
like
place,
fish and chips,
but he's in a place that does fried food well. So he'd probably enjoy. You're in D.C. or the Baltimore area. Like, if you don't want it fried, you might just starve to death.
And I think most people would like fried catfish. Just don't tell them what it is.
Bam.
Yep. What is your most unbelievable factoid or life experience? 206-421-ROCK.
Except, Mike, you didn't like the fried catfish I got you, did you?
I don't remember it, Ted.
All right. Well, it was that good.
Good times.
Well, at least it wasn't that bad. Hello, Marissa. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola. So, what was your amazing factoid?
When I was like 10 or 11, my grandmother and auntie decided to write a book about me and my grandmother and our heritage, and then I got to do a book tour.
So the book did well.
Yes, it did.
So what is it about your family or your heritage that would be of interest to people?
We're Native American, and my grandmother grew up in Alaska. So, like, the whole, the white man came being sent to...
Across the sea and brought us pain.
I'd love
misery. Yeah, no offense, Marissa. Bruce Dickinson already beat you to the punch.
Yeah, he's pretty good at history.
No. Oh, goodness.
Yeah. She plagiarized Iron Maiden. Congrats. We won't tell anyone. We won't tell anyone. We'll let people think it's your story.
The book is Run to the Hills.
Yes.
The story of an Inuit family.
Yes.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
You guys are hilarious.
What's the name of the book, by the way?
It's called, you know what? Actually, I don't know if I want everyone to, know exactly who I am.
All right. Okay. That's fair. Fair enough.
Does the front of the book look like Abraham Lincoln, who's on the side of the Alaska Airlines flight airplanes?
No, it's a town of where my grandmother grew up, and then with my face on it.
But so it's a picture of the town and your face.
Yes.
Somebody has an ego problem.
Have you eaten a little seal blubber? Blubber.
Actually, I did. I went to culture camp and had seal ribs, seal fat, deer.
How was the ribs?
I didn't like the ribs that much. It was a little tough for me. I liked the fat more.
Okay. I just figured if it's ribs, it's got to be good. If you say cheeks or ribs,
I thought the same.
So you just say ribs, and you're like, I'm in.
Yeah, like
so if I had raccoon, and I'm like, dude, I saved the ribs for you. You're like,
wasn't that what they say? Kind of like with I've never eaten a person before, but if I had eaten a person before, the ribs are the best part.
Who said that?
Just people who've had to.
Wait, what?
If you get online, you read about people who've gone through experiences.
Oh, so they're saying, like, well,
if you have
I'm
a
not saying I'm being a
situation
person.
where you are starving and
so wait, what is
I'm
they
just glad Thrill asked because Miles was like, you know how people say, it's like,
what people?
who are these people?
People who got like,
I've never met anyone who I thought was a cannibal.
To stay alive,
right?
You know?
They spoke of the ribs fondly. We were starving to death. I had to eat my buddy.
What do you think you get on the menu of Papua New Guinea? Huh?
But there's some animals.
Ribs.
I want to say like some of the bigger animals, the ribs kind of suck.
All right, okay.
I've never heard of elk ribs or.
Right, you don't know. When's the last
Bear
time you
rib.
got like a moose rib?
Yeah.
Could you imagine how big a moose rib would be?
Okay, let me ask you.
I didn't think it'd be goddamn 5 feet long, 4 feet long.
I'm opening my cannibal restaurant.
Uh-huh.
You have your choice of cut. Where
Cheeks.
You want cheeks?
Cheeks.
Face cheeks, butt cheeks.
Face.
Okay. Ted? Say, we got a butcher in the back.
I'm going probably right underneath the ribs.
I'm going cheeks and ribs.
That's not a bad call, man.
Yeah. Like almost like where like a love handle is.
Yeah.
It depends on the butt.
I guess.
Because they're so different.
But I feel like you'd use the butt to like render things down. Like you slow cook the butt and then use the drippings to cook everything else, right?
Right. And
you got
remember,
all that fat and
and
stuff.
with pork, like the Boston butt is actually the shoulder.
Sure. Mine is the actual butt.
Yeah.
In my restaurant.
In the movie Alive, that's where they went first.
The butt, right?
Yeah.
I thought they went to the ear first.
I am almost 100% sure it's the butt because me and my brother, we just thought it was hilarious. Like, not that they're,
Yeah,
it's
real funny
It's a horrible,
movie.
terrible story, but it's like, oh man, they're eating the butt.
It's a real knee slapper, that movie Alive.
I mean, it's not.
It's like the guy who got the meat out of his throat earlier.
Wow.
It said the dude pulled the meat out of my throat.
Well, Thrill, right, well, Miles, I'm sure you know a little bit too. Like, that's one of those things, like, they're siblings, but then it's when it's two brothers sitting there watching a movie like that, like, oh man, did you just eat the butt first?
I've always found
two relatives of each other.
Yeah.
Two brothers.
Oh man.
Say, player. Gonna eat that ass if you die.
Got that killing. What is your most unbelievable factoid or life experience? 206-4200.
Hello, Nick. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
Well, gentlemen, drive home from lunch one day and had a seizure while I was driving.
Uh-oh. Were you still having a seizure while you were crashing?
Yes, I was right into a tree.
How fast were you?
Yeah, how fast were you going?
That's unknown because when you have a seizure, you black out.
All right.
So I made it approximately one block without going into someone's front door, which was nice, and then hit a tree with enough force that it flipped the truck onto its side.
Okay.
So
Did you have airbags? Did you have airbags in the truck?
I did, and I was wearing my seatbelt, but my dog was in the back seat of the truck not wearing a seatbelt. And so, fortunately, the fire department was literally a building I passed as I was having a seizure. So they got to my car very quickly. They had to cut the roof off the truck. And I guess they pulled my dog out first.
I was going to say, was your dog okay?
Yes. Actually, my dog was fine. I was so lucky about that.
It's amazing your dog...
Other than having a seizure and crashing into a tree, yes.
My dog's
all right.
My dog would have seriously rolled down the window and jumped out the back. 'Cause she knows how to do that. She puts her hands on the thing.
Yeah. Oh, my dog, too.
And
We got to lock the windows.
She put the damn window down. I'm like, dude, both windows, really?
Have you had any more seizures since then?
I have, unfortunately.
So is there any frequency? Is there any trigger that you know of?
No, I have adult onset epilepsy, and so I didn't even have seizures as a child. It wasn't until I got in high school when I started having seizures.
Once again, bedroom callers, here are the 7 words you can't say on the radio. Sucker, mother, and please keep those words in mind when calling. Now, back to the program.
All right, Nick, no F-bombs. But
you can't say that one on the air, Nick. I have a question. Are you epileptic?
Yes, I'm diagnosed as epileptic, so I have to take medication twice a day.
What would be the most dangerous activity that you could be involved in? Other than driving. You're not going to get up in the morning and go take a swim in the ocean or something. But what do you need to be very cautious about?
When I go bird hunting and I'm carrying a gun.
Fair. All right.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Do you have some kind of, because you don't have like a medical alert button because you don't, when it comes on, I guess it's full blown and you really can't.
Yeah, I mean, if you're having a seizure, there's no button you can press.
Oftentimes I can't be like, oh, my goodness, I'm about to have a seizure. Let me call somebody. And it doesn't work that well.
So do you still drive or anything like that?
Washington state law says you're not supposed to drive for 6 months after having a seizure.
That is not what I asked you.
I hear there's a lot of laws out there. Washington state laws say the speed limit is 55.
Right.
Washington state.
Well, my friend, I did keep driving. Yes, that was not something that stopped me.
Okay. All right. And can you feel it come on, or is it just takes over you and you don't really have a warning sign?
I do kind of feel it come on. It's almost a feeling of deja vu. Where I can feel like I've been standing here in this spot and looking at this location before, and then I'll black out.
The doctor told me, he said, look, when my daughter had a really bad seizure on like Christmas Eve, and it was pretty severe. And he's like, look, just so you know what this does to a human being, how much it really messes them up. It's the equivalent of running more than a marathon as far as the energy and the drain that it takes out of your body when you have one.
That's when I run marathons. Too close to having a seizure.
So when you wake up, you're out of it for a few days, aren't you?
You are exactly correct. That is actually a term my neurologist uses analogy with me as well. That my body sat still, but my mind ran a marathon. And so I was laying in my bed one day having a seizure and woke up and left a shadow of sweat of my body on the bed because I was sweating so bad.
And you wake up, but you don't get it out of bed for another day and a half, right?
You are correct. I have medication I take after having a seizure, but then my body is wiped and I am not doing anything for 48 hours, definitely.
So I guess you don't operate heavy machinery at work or anything like that?
No, I do not.
No, he's a surgeon.
Okay, yeah, exactly. Whoa, what happened? Well, we had to stop halfway through.
Man, oh man. Oh, by the way, Ted.
Or a tattoo artist.
Oh, God. You see, up halfway through the tattoo. Just so you know, someone here says, according to Ed Gein, do you know who that is? He's a serial killer. All right. He says, as far as humans go, the butt is the best part about eating a person.
Huh.
So start with that ass. You and your brother are laughing. They knew what they were doing, Ted. Okay.
Guess so.
Coming up, the return of Who Sucks Less. You are listening to The Men's Room.
New on Curiosity Stream.
With my infrared drone, I can see what others can't.
Drone pilot Doug Thron uses his bird's eye view for the ultimate good, saving animals from desperate situations around the globe. Join the rescue effort on a new season of Doug to the Rescue. And
You captured a Confederate steamboat?
We're taking the ship to freedom.
an enslaved crew, a stolen vessel, and a Civil War dash to salvation on impossible escapes. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.